Hey everybody, Greg Rice here in the bucket, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Hello to all my fellow vultures. This is going to be my new fixture. I'm just going to leave that there. Screw it to the desk. I had breakfast this morning. Today is Ocho de Mayo with Bintu Chatterton of Chatterton Insurance. They're here in Pawtucket. They're right downtown, right on the river. Bintu, who I interviewed a couple years back, is a great friend of mine and also a colleague. Okay, we run a lot of our clients to Bintu as well as our personal business stuff here at Nexus. We send it over to her and Alan. They do a great job. And we were having a meeting today, and she told me that some companies are no longer accepting or writing new policies for rental properties, right? They're not accepting business because they don't know what the hell is going on in the market. They are nervous. So American Reliable, who had majority of my policies, went out of business recently. So all of these clients, like myself, are flooding to find new companies to write our policies. And Bintu's saying these companies are like, nope, we're not writing, we're not taking on any new clients. And if they are accepting new clients, oh yeah, you got to do a paper application instead of the click, 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 submit. They're slowing down the wheels. And on top of this, the prices that I'm seeing on my renewals, on properties that no claims, nothing going on, no change in value, nothing major happening. Same, just continue on. They're double and triple on the renewals. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's just another facet as to why people are not going to be able to afford home ownership as a landlord. It's just one piece of the puzzle. Instead of $2,000 a year for your 3-family, now you're at $4,000, you're at $5,000. That's double and a half. And you got to come up with another $300 a month. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the tenant. The tenants are demanding rent control. What's going on here? It's a tug of war. It's crazy. So, what can you do to help reduce your premium? Well, number one is you can reduce the insurable value of the property. Okay, a lot of these policies are written for replacement cost, and a 3-family, to build that, you're probably looking at $600,000-$700,000. That's the value that the policy is going to insure. God forbid it ever burned down, there was a mass casualty, and they had to rebuild. So you're paying for that. You're paying for that luxury, okay, in your monthly premium. You can reduce that to your insurable amount being the mortgage. So if it's a 3-family, you owe $300,000, instead of insuring it for $600-$700, you could drop that down to $300. But keep in mind, if something does happen, you might get a partial payout. Okay, so it won't be apples to apples, so that is the risk, but it will save you on the front end from having higher premiums. You could also increase your deductible to $5,000, maybe $10,000 if the carrier allows it, from something small like a $500 or $1,000. And that's what I do. Okay, I have good properties now. Things are situated. The appliances, the mechanicals are all updated, so I feel confident. That person doesn't feel confident. I feel confident that when I put in a claim, if I have to put in a claim, it's going to be for something big, like a flood, like a fire, things like that, where it's like, whoa, I'm not going to put in a claim for a heating system or a hot water tank that burst. I'm just going to take care of that. So that's something you can also do. You could also consider, if the company allows it, trying to bundle your policies onto one. And my good friend John LaPointe did that for me recently. I believe we put, I want to say 5 or 6 properties onto one policy. And it was beautiful. Great number, great price, great coverages. And that's something that if you have multiple properties, you consider bundling. And the fourth thing that I'll suggest to you is something that's a little bit more risky. It's something I can do based on my volume that may have an impact on the price. Sometimes it doesn't. But loss of rent coverage. You can omit that. So if you got a 3-family, rent roll is $4,000 a month, you got $48,000 a year in loss of rent coverage. In the event the tenants are displaced from a mass casualty, you're still going to receive rent money from the insurance company. That also is something that, like the replacement cost, you're paying for that luxury even though you might not use it. So I've never used it in my 10 years now. I can't think of one time. I've paid for hotels for nights here and there, never had a mass casualty event. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, why am I getting $60,000 in lost rent, $80,000 lost rent? I never fucking use it. So I've omitted that on some policies and it saved me. Boom, $500 for the year. Okay, you know what? I'll take that risk times X amount of properties. Other times I've done it and it saved $30 and I'm like, you know what? Just keep it on there because it makes sense in case. So that's something you could do. Look at the insured value, look at your deductible, look at bundling, and look at that loss of rent coverage. Other than that, just kiss and pray and hope that your numbers on your renewals make sense and that these companies will even keep you or accept you as a client. The market is absolutely bananas right now in insurance. And I don't know how you fix it because it's private industry and there's so many of them, right? And they can do and price whatever they want. There's no obligation for them to provide service to you like with a utility company, for example. And there's not as much pressure on them as the banks, right, from local and state and federal governments to make sure that money is being lent and that, you know, all of that. So the insurance business is kind of like this murky little swamp where if there's a problem, there's really no quick, safe, efficient way to clean it up for everybody. I mean, if you ask me what I think could happen, I mean, it goes back to like what happened with the car bailouts, with the bank bailouts. I think the government will have to step in and subsidize or get into the insurance business entirely to help moderate, in essence, and stabilize a market that is really just wild, right? There's really no regulation or consumer protection as far as pricing goes or the ability to accept or not for you as a client. So I feel like the government might have to get involved to quell this or to make insurers want to lower prices and open their eyes to more clients. It's a tricky one. So if you have any comments, any questions, let me know. We can get you in touch with Bintu. We can also get you in touch with LaPointe. They both do a great job. They do their best and they have a wide market. They have a good reputation. So you're in the best hands. All right. So once again, Greg Rice here in the bucket. Your property and your insurance dilemmas managed.